Creepypastas, a huge internet fad of short horror stories that was popular between 2010 and 2014. Some of these stories are something I'm sure all of you are familiar with, such as Jeff the Killer or Slenderman. Although one thing that I always ask myself is, where did these images come from? All creepypasta images are just so disturbing and unsettling. The type of photo that gives you nightmares for weeks or makes you wonder what horrors lie out in the world. And I recently got myself into a rabbit hole of looking at some of these old creepypasta images, and even all these years later, they still freak me out to the nth degree. And today we will cover some of these old and classic creepypasta images and try to dig deep and find the origins of them and where they even came from. And also, I'll have my good friend Jaden Salads join me in this video, so look out for him. And also, if you guys really like this video or it does well, I'll make a part 2, so please like the video to show you like the video and would like to see a part 2. And also, please subscribe to the channel. It's the channel's goal to be at 500,000 subscribers, so please subscribe and like the video. And alright, let's dig deep and find the origins of these creepypasta images. The Rake. The Rake, according to the Creepypasta, is a creature first reported in 2003 in the northeastern United States. Witness accounts describe seeing a skinny, human-like figure deep in the woods, either while camping or while out hunting. And the creature often kills the person who sees it, or is so scary and traumatizing that the witness offs themselves shortly after seeing it. Now, this image has terrified me and others ever since I first saw the image. It's just something about it. Maybe it's the authentic feel to the photo. The photo, which seems to be taken on a trail cam, catches a creature or a human that is somewhere deep in the woods. Now, there's not many clues on where I could find the origin of this just based off the photo, so I just did what any sensible person would do on the internet. I went to the land of neckbeards and moderators that need to go outside more, so I went to Reddit and simply asked, where did the Rake image come from? Now, the top comment on this post said it was a promotional photo for the video game Resistance 3. Well, okay, cool. My work here is done. On to the next creepypasta photo.
That's all, folks.
Haha, nope, you thought. We are going to dig a bit deeper than that. Now, a lot of sources do say that this was mainly used as promotion for the video game Resistance 3. But some sources also say that this photo may have come from a hunter in southern Louisiana, and he uploaded it to the internet and it gained significant traction from there, even being featured on the local news. But I couldn't go deep into that because it was just an article or two and said nothing about where it came from or any sort of proof or evidence. But I also found some sites saying that it was used as a promotion for the J.J. Abrams Super 8 film. Now, at this point, my head is spinning. I have all of these sources saying different things on where it came from, and none of these sources have evidence or any sort of proof that this photo came from that specific person or promotional campaign. So I gave up looking there and tried to look at the origin of it and where the story even originated from. And it originated from 4chan, as most internet things do, but I found out that it was first talked about on a 4chan board in late 2005. And these two anonymous users started creating the Rake story and, quote, character, first titled Operation Crawler. This thread gave us the basic idea of what the creature was, but there's still a huge problem here. These guys only talked about the story, and many posts aren't archived, so it was hard to see everything they talked about, and it never touched on where the original photo came from, so another dead end. Although, let's fast forward 1 year, to July 20th, 2006, where one of the first posts of the Rake creepypasta can be found in its entirety and was posted by user Panda6 on a very old copypasta blog. The story would then be found on LiveJournal in 2008, and then could be traced back to 4chan in April of 2009, and then it would go on to the Something Awful website in June of the same year. Then the story would be picked up by larger sites such as Creepypasta.com, and then by August of 2010, it would make it to the r/paranormal subreddit on Reddit. And that's very important because that's when the photo first started appearing, on Reddit in late 2010. So it was important to start looking at posts from late 2010 because that's when the post first appeared. And I did some more digging and I found a few links and talk of images on archerytalk.com that may be the origin of the original Rake photo. A user by the name Hillbilly Willie had some trail cam photos. Posted on December 2nd, 2010, around the time I'm looking for, he had some numerous trail cam photos. And this man seems to have the original photo and camera because he has proof of photos in the same location during the day and at other times. Now, on to what you have all been waiting for. Did this man capture a humanoid on camera? No. The original photo is actually just the butt of a deer. And the original photo was edited in Photoshop to create the infamous Rake photo. So I'm very sorry to burst your guys' bubble, but it's fake. And this creepy photoshopped image got picked up around 2010 and just became stapled to the Rake creepypasta. Because this photo had similar characteristics to the creature in the story, people just ran with it and made it part of the Rake story. So yeah, the original Rake photo is fake and also not even originally associated with the creepypasta. It just got picked up somewhere along the line. Yeah, now I'm just as disappointed as you are to learn this. I was really hoping to discover that this photo was real and there was a Rake running around out there.
The Expressionless. The Expressionless is a short creepypasta that was popular because of the story, obviously, but also because of the picture. I mean, just look at the photo that is most commonly used for this creepypasta. It's pretty unsettling. It looks real, but it also doesn't. It's just pretty disturbing. The creepypasta is pretty short, so I'm just going to read it in its entirety. According to the story, a nameless woman arrived at the Cedars-Sinai Hospital in June 1972, wearing a bloodied white gown. While this was not surprising given how many injured and sickly people come to the hospital each day, what set the woman apart from the other patients was that she had a mannequin-like appearance, and yet moved fluently like any normal human. Her face was also devoid of certain facial features such as eyebrows, and was smeared with makeup. For no discernible reason, the nameless woman had a kitten in her mouth, which she pulled out before collapsing to the ground. The woman is taken into one of the rooms and is thoroughly cleaned in preparation for sedation. Fearing for the worst, the staff decided it is best to restrain her until the authorities arrived, but they were also too frightened to directly look at the woman. They then explained to the woman what their intentions were for her, and she seemed to follow along without much repercussion. When the chief doctor was preparing to inject her, however, the woman immediately started fighting back. Two staff members tried to hold her back as her body rose up from the medical bed. The woman then does something strange and smiles at the head doctor when he asked her for what she was. However, her smile was immensely disturbing as she had rows of razor-sharp teeth that seemingly were impossible to fit in her mouth. The doctor then turned his back to the woman when he hears the authorities arrive, which gives the woman the chance to strike. The woman darts at the head doctor and sinks her teeth firmly into his neck, severing his jugular. As he lay dying, the woman leans over him and whispers, "I am God." The authorities arrive at the scene of the crowd and try to overpower her, but the nameless woman ends up massacring everything she came across. A nurse that would survive the attack would go on to name the woman as the Expressionless. There had never been another sighting of the woman since that incident. The story claims that this is the picture of the woman who showed up at the Cedars-Sinai Hospital in 1972. However, that's not true. It is a picture of two student nurses and a waxwork dummy used for training. The picture was taken by photographer Lord Snowden in 1968 for his book Assignments. So, as you can imagine, this was not a real photo of the expressionless woman, but instead just a simple nursing photo for a book that looked disturbing enough to go along with this creepypasta.
Eyeless Jack. Eyeless Jack, a man or creature who takes your kidneys while you sleep. And he also watches you sleep, so that's pretty spooky. But in the original story, a man named Mitch moves in with his brother Edwin after losing his house to foreclosure. A week later, Mitch wakes up to a large gash on his cheek. At the hospital, the doctor informs him that his left kidney had been surgically removed overnight. That same night, Mitch awakens around midnight to find Eyeless Jack standing over his bed, wearing a blue mask with black liquid seeping from the empty eye sockets behind the mask. Mitch manages to grab his camera and take a photo before Jack attacks him. clawing at his chest. Mitch escapes and flees into the woods, where he trips and loses consciousness. When he wakes up in the hospital, he learns that Edwin was killed the night before. Mitch's parents drove him to the house to collect his belongings, and inside, he discovered Edwin's corpse and a small object lying nearby. Upon closer inspection, he realizes it's his kidney, with a bite taken out of it and covered in a black substance. So that's the creepypasta in a quick summary, but in this story, it kind of gives us the explanation of where the photo came from. Quote, Mitch manages to grab his camera and take a photo before Jack attacks him. But that's sadly not the end of it because, as you may know, this is a fake story, so that means this isn't the real photo, so this really doesn't help us at all. But I did some digging and found a user by the name of @PirateCashew on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and he said this, quote, I made the original image for Eyeless Jack, and I very much prefer this one, a gazillion times better than my high school Photoshop, lol. This is lovely. So I'm supposed to just believe this random guy on X, right? And also, he could just be lying. Well, I was skeptical at first until I went to the replies, and he has some proof. He says, quote, my friend took it and uploaded it anonymously, and someone took that and used it for Eyeless Jack. I did not find out about it until like a couple years ago. This is the unblurred version to prove it. Never been posted before. But I still was a bit skeptical, and I still wanted to dig deeper and find the origin of the photo and who took it and why they took the photo and why it was made, etc. So I went deeper into his Twitter, and the original creator got questioned once, and someone asked him, quote, I got a question. How did you come up with the idea? Was there an inspiration behind it? End quote. And then the original creator replied saying, quote, my friend took that photo from his bed and he asked me to make it creepy. And that's just what I came up with. Looming dark figure with spooky white face mask and dark whole eyes. I didn't even think it was scary. I was just messing around. So yeah, he could be lying, but I also believe him because he uploaded the unpixelated and unblurred version. So he could be lying, but I believe him. And I just think this guy actually was the original creator and just made it as kind of a fun art project. So yeah, once again, a random photo got stolen and stapled to a creepypasta. But it sucks because the original creator of the photo got zero credit for the photo and made zero money from any of it, as said on his Twitter. But in the end, it was a Photoshop photo that the original user made for fun. And alright, that wraps up finding the origins of creepypasta images. And I really hope you enjoyed this. This was a way different video than I've ever made before. It was way shorter than a video I've ever made before. It was just totally different for me, and I really enjoyed it. And also, let me know, would you like to see more collabs on the channel? Would you like to see Jaden Salads come out again? I mean, I love his content and I love him coming on the videos, so let me know if you like him as well. And just thank you for watching to the end of the video. I mean, you're still watching, so subscribe and like the video. It helps so much. And yeah, let me know if you'd like to see a part 2 or something kind of along this line of video ideas, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And all right, until next time, see ya.